Point in the Barbarian, we joined Madam President, fake President, and her pimply errand boy in the Oval Office, where they are engaged in deep conversation over matters.
Madam President, fake president.
Can't you see I'm doing Pilates?
There's been a casualty, the first of the war.
Oh, good, he spit it out.
A bomb went off in a laboratory in New Jersey, the Garden State. Come see for yourself, a wonderful place to live, work, and play. That leaflet you dropped?
My pink Sharpie masterpiece.
It detonated on impact,
It manifested.
wounding 3, killing 1.
Oh,
The casualty was a champion, figure skater or thumb wrestler, I'm told.
but she deserved it, right?
Yeah.
Because she was the enemy, right?
Right, she was the enemy.
And that's why she's dead.
Right.
Okay. My fellow Blamericans,
He said on TV.
yesterday, December 7th, 1944, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of aggression by terror against the peaceful villagers of South Vietnam has in Korea on the 3rd of February last, the Imperial Army of Germany, Empire of Japan, the extraordinary announcement that vessels of every attacked by naval and air, torpedoed ruthlessly, without warning, against the law of humanity on the high seas, within, against the United States of America. All of this was brought upon us in a single day, and night fell on a different world. A world where freedom itself is under attack. Now, if you're like me, and I hope you are like me, I really do. If you're like me and you love this country, and trust me, I love the shit out of this country.
Me too.
Right on, right on. I love this country. But there are people, and this is hard for me to understand, but there are loads of people out there, loads of people. And mind you, these are not good people. They're not the best. But there are loads of people out there who hate this country. They hate us. And if you ask me, I just think they're jealous, but there are loads of people out there, and they're bad. They're bad people, and they're out there. They're all over. But here's the thing, there are loads of people in here too. People who drive on our roads, eat at our restaurants, people who hate it here. They don't like it here, and they don't like you. And so they're taking orders. They start taking orders, and they're listening to all the bad people out there, the ones who hate us, and they start thinking, maybe I should hate us too. And so you see them out there, and you see what they're doing. You see what they're doing to this country. It's terrible. It's awful. I've never seen anything like it. There's never been anything like it. And so what I'm gonna do, and this is a promise, and you can trust me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find these people. These bad people here. Everywhere. And with your help, it's gonna take all of us. I'm gonna make it so they're not a problem anymore. You're not gonna have to think about them anymore. You're gonna forget all about it. You're gonna be safe. Your kids are gonna be safe. You're gonna be free.
Right, but Madam President,
Yeah, I know. So pending the approval of Congress, which, I mean, come on, you guys owe me.
okay,
I hereby declare war on paper.
Yes, Cameron. Hey.
But that's Big Chris, where will we find all the troops?
A draft. It'll be fun. Like summer camp. Color war. We get in shape and sing fun songs and eat meals together out of bowls on the ground. Good for the kids.
I think this plan is brilliant, Madam Big President.
I entirely agree. This calls for a ball.
and in another extraordinary coup de theater, the walls collapsed, revealing a full-on Rococo ballroom, replete with trompe-l'oeil bottoms, wigs, and frescoes of women in big flowery skirts laughing on rope swings while mischievous Cupid lurks nearby. Everything's gilded, even the way it's sat. So much crystal, your grandma would puke maggots, and everyone's dancing. The school formal dances that show up in Baz Luhrmann movies where the people hold one hand up and walk in a circle, and the stage hands all walk through the audience, grumbling as they serve puffed pastries to the audience, which makes the show go way over budget. But the audience thinks the pastries are a nice touch, and really it makes the whole experience very immersive. Runs on stage and lifts the president up in a chair as they giddily dance the hora and generally share their rich and ancient culture with us, the pleased audience. But just as we're fighting, the fake president laughs and cries out. And one of the hostages has kind of a bit of a talking fair. For a second, it seems as if the whole choreographed number is going to fall apart. Until one of the other hostages, who's really was just a background chorus boy, but has a dream in his heart, realizes that this is his big chance to make a name for himself. So he charges up to center stage. He starts singing the Bible dance, Fiddler, and it's awesome. Then the whole scene kind of loses its steam. Chester and the choreographer, who was shipping during rehearsal process, fell on bad terms to a later staging that part after one of them got the clap. I won't name names. So the kind of peters out as the 47 hostages and hundreds of extras all sort of non-pleasantly shimmy off stage, flashing jazz hands, as the hardest working team of stagehands and showbiz braces their bootstraps to the standard set. The sound designer was out with pneumonia during tech, so she never made a cue to cover this transition, but maybe that was for the best. Because over the course of countless hours of secret rehearsals, organized in the dead of night, the stagehands turned the sound of the dismantling into a kind of stomp-esque percussion routine. And volleyball, drill dance, and even though the director watching first preview was incensed at this kind of insubordination happening live in front of a paying audience, it can't help but be pleased that this rickety transition finally has some juice. But then the stagehands were really quite talented, overstay their welcome just a bit, when one guy, Rick, who's not the most tasteful of the bunch, comes center stage and starts singing My Heart Will Go On at the top of his lungs. We're laughing at himself because it's so ironic, you guys. This stagehand gig is just a damn thing when I try to sell my pilot over to Hulu. The other stagehands all kind of look at him and roll their eyes, thinking, of course, Rick had it going doing this good thing we had going, until the more optimistic of the bunch realize they can't stop him, so they start to accompany him. And as the impromptu carpentry orchestra swells up behind him, Rick starts to really sing his heart out.
His neck is bulging, his face is red, and you can tell he's tapping into something important from his childhood. And it's working something out in front of us all on stage. Dullest coincidence, but you can't look away. We all have kind of an emotional moment listening to this song as if for the first time, thinking that maybe it was popular for a reason. Maybe this song expresses everything that ever needed to be expressed, and even Sappho was like, dang, I should have cut that one first. It's effective, it's charming. And near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the song is pretty good. So the heart goes on and on. And on and on and on, and you do the key change, and Rick nails it, and eventually you realize it's intermission and you're supposed to get up and check your text. But once more, you open the door and find that the line to the bathroom is entirely too long. So you decide to hold it in until after the show. You get some peanuts to hold you over, and eventually the stage is cleared, the dust is vacuumed up, and we're left by a snowdrift again. The echo of the song still humming in our ears. Really pretty catchy. Meanwhile, in the crusty old curbside snowdrift, we join our dear friends, Ye Old Dog Turd and Little Siggy Nubbin, engaging in a dewy discourse about times gone by. Do you remember the old days? No! I remember the old days. I remember what someone once told me about the old days. You could shine a nickel for a pair of shoes, and everybody wore a hat. We had a car in every pot, and a chicken in every garage. Horses weren't invented yet, so we all got around via teletype. The women all wore dish rags, and the men dressed in briefcases, and there were just 3 breeds of dog. You liked Ike, I liked Ike, everybody liked Ike. It was great. And if you played your cards right, a real doggone hobo would sing your kids to sleep. People would eat so much they vomit. Then eat up the vomit again, round and round like that, for days at a time. Elton John had a song about it, I think. Johnny Mercer wrote, "Keep your hands where I can fucking see them, or I swear to God, I'll blow his brain straight clear to Gibraltar." Remember that old chestnut? Oh, those were the days. The trees weren't so tall then, the sun not so hot, and nothing meant more than a good tall men's promise. And the people that mattered were men, and all the landowners could vote, and it never rained on Sundays. None of the birds could read, but nobody cared, not even the birds. Your ward provided a standing army, and you paid them in bushels of wheat. They didn't call them weekends then. To us, they were just weeks. No one had so much as heard the word cupcake. Elected officials wore hippo bone dentures, and the ladies all wore crinolines, and the periodic table only had 2 elements: wood and fart. Wasn't all pecans and petunias, you know. Queen Mab was still on the loose with her whole meth-addled posse.
All the horses copped an attitude copped the feel, and the cops would pop and lock, and nobody washed their feet. All the chicken shit bullshitters went ape shit, or bat shit, and the result was pure horse shit. It was the worst of times. It was the worst of times. But we truckered on through, didn't we? Or they did. And somebody once told me about it. Little Siggy Nubbin, who had fallen into a moist sleep during her stinky old friend's search for lost time, suddenly jolted awake at the sound of what sounded like thunder. What the fuck is that? Oh, little friend, you have so much to learn. That's the sound of gods hooting. But it wasn't hooting. It was footsteps. The particularly faint presidential footsteps of Miss Madam Fake President and her Praetorian guard of mixed martial arts myrmidons in suits, making their way past the snowbank to the little door of the Obadiah Davis Home for Old Fogies, where the fake president's real dad was whiling away his creme brulee years with games of parcheesi, reruns of Just Shoot Me, bingo every Tuesday, blood transfusions at noon.
Hey, Dad,
What? Who are you?
I like your new chair.
Thank you, it's vaudeville.
Sorry I haven't been around in a while.
It's okay, I like the green ones anyway.
Things have been better. I'm busy at work.
I swear one of these days he's gonna catch that wascally rabbit and blow his fucking face off.
Did I tell you about my new job?
What?
My new job.
This is a court of law, not a sewage plant.
I'm president now.
What?
President!
Who, Hoover?
No, me.
As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
No, I'm not happy, Dad, I'm president. The leader of the free world. I suffered the awesome burden of the hopes and dreams of millions of constituents on my Pilates-toed shoulders.
Glad you're trying things out, honey.
I'm not trying it out, I'm selected. I'm in history books. I'm history. I started a war.
I remember the Nazis.
A really, really great war that everybody likes because I'm a really, really good president, Dad.
Yes, the Nazis.
Do you hear me?
And are any of your old buddies around? Having a little gin. I'll write that one, like a little baby Hoover.
Little Jim is my Secretary of State, Dad.
You should bring them around sometime. So polite. Quite the looker, if memory serves.
I'm not dating right now, Dad. I've got too much going on at work.
Not for you, but for me. I want to get a good peek at those tasty yams. Tasty. Yams.
Dad. Dad. Dad!
No, officer, I don't know whose blood it is to tell me wash off me. All get on with their lives.
Dad.
There you are, Trudy. Did you make my granola?
I'm not Trudy, Dad. I'm your daughter, the president.
President's a lying sack of shit. Excuse my Slovenian.
I wanted your advice on something. Do you think you can help me out?
I swear to God, I thought it was beefsteak. I have no idea what people taste like, Your Honor. No idea at all.
It was good to see you, Dad.
Wait. What is it you wanted to ask?
Oh,
I can try to help.
it's about this war I started.
I think they have it on the TiVo.
I wanted to know, how did you believe in the war when you fought in it? How did you know it was really happening the way you thought it was?
I was there.
But how did you?
They came at us with horses. came like one of the tanks. Of course we were in the right.
Well, I should probably be going.
So soon, you only just got here.
Yeah,
Tell me about those knuckleheads in Congress. They treating you okay?
they are.
That's my girl. Pinches her little cheek.
I love you, Dad.
I'm telling you, Mildred, there's too much room here.